Remembering Hulk Hogan, the man who was the face of...
When the world lost Hulk Hogan, we didn't just lose a wrestling legend. We lost a symbol of strength, resilience, and belief. No one understood that better than John Cena, a man who followed in Hogan's footsteps and carved his own path with the same grit and heart. Now, with deep respect and raw emotion, Cena pays tribute to the man who inspired generations to say your prayers and eat your vitamins. This isn't just one icon remembering another. It's a heartfelt farewell from a student to a master, from a brother in the ring to a hero who made wrestling larger than life. In Cena's words, we feel the weight of loss and the power of legacy. Walking through the silence. The ring without you. That night, the arena felt unlike anything I had ever experienced before. Usually, the moment you step inside, you're greeted by a roar so loud it feels like it might shake the very foundations of the building. But this time, it was different. The lights dimmed slowly, the hum of excitement fading like a distant memory. A heavy, almost sacred silence settled over the space where you once stood, where you lifted your arms high, pointed to the sky, and cupped your ear, challenging the crowd to make more noise. That arena, once alive with the thunderous chant of Hulkamania running wild, now felt more like a quiet cathedral, a place for reflection rather than celebration. The ring, the heart of every story you told, stood still. The canvas, worn from years of battles, looked bare without your energy filling the space. The ropes, which used to snap back with the force of your moves, now seemed slack and lifeless. The crowd, though there, was subdued, holding back their grief like a secret shared between all of us. And in that quiet, I swear I heard your voice, clear and unmistakable, cutting through the stillness like a beacon. It wasn't just the weight of memory. It was your spirit speaking to us, reminding everyone that even though you are gone, you never truly left. The thunder in the storm, a fighter's heart. You were more than just a wrestler. You were a storm wrapped in human form, a force of nature no one could ignore. Every time you stepped through those curtains, it was like lightning cracking the sky open. The red and yellow, the handlebar mustache, the bulging muscles, the famous 24-inch pythons, and that ripped tank top torn in a moment of pure showmanship. You were a spectacle, a living legend. But beyond the flash and flare, it was your heart that left the most lasting impression. You weren't afraid to fight, not only the opponents in the ring, but the battles life threw your way. You took on the pressures of fame, the harsh spotlight, and the controversies that followed. You wrestled with personal demons, public challenges, and the weight of being a hero to millions. That burden didn't break you. It forged you into something stronger, something real. You gave kids everywhere a mantra. Believe in your dreams, say your prayers, eat your vitamins, and never, ever give up. You had faith in people before they had it in themselves. And now, without you here, we try to carry those lessons forward. Your voice still echoes, in locker rooms where young wrestlers prepare for their fights, in living rooms where fans replay your matches, in hearts of people who only know you by name but feel your spirit. We miss you every single day, from battles fought under pouring rain to quiet moments backstage where you gave pep talks that lifted spirits. We miss your strength, your infectious smile, your fiery determination. The world without you, a quiet void, you filled arenas, hearts, and screens worldwide with your energy and presence. Now, that space feels emptier. It's hard to grasp how one person could leave such a profound void, but your absence has made everything feel a little dimmer. It's as if the vibrant colors of a once grand painting have faded, and the fireworks that once lit up the night sky have been dimmed to embers. People young and old, fans who grew up watching you and those who came to know you later, feel the silence stretching far and wide. The world seems smaller, quieter. There's no longer a surprise comeback to anticipate, no iconic flex or grin to brighten the night. The cheers have turned into whispers of memory, but those memories still honor you, still carry your name with pride. This moment isn't just the end of an era. It's the closing of a storybook that taught a whole generation what it meant to stand tall, to fight back against the odds, and to live boldly. What you gonna do when Hulkamania runs wild on you is no longer just a slogan. It's a legacy etched into time. More than strength, lifting broken souls. Yes, you lifted weights, you lifted titles, but what you truly lifted, what mattered the most, were people. You lifted spirits with just a wink, a pose, a word of encouragement. You gave broken-hearted kids a reason to hope. You showed those struggling with failure how to rise again. You taught that strength wasn't just about muscles, but about resilience and courage. You were far from perfect. No one is. But even in your darkest moments, you carried yourself with a kind of raw honesty. You knew the world needed your light, and you gave it freely, even when your own soul was hurting. From the chaos and roar of WrestleMania crowds to the hushed quiet of hospital rooms where kids clutch your action figures during their toughest battles, you were there. Not just in body, but in spirit. You stood strong, not just in the face of opponents, but against cancer, scandal, the passage of time, and life's relentless challenges. You were more than Hulk Hogan. You were courage in yellow boots. You were hope wrapped in a bandana. You were a reminder that sometimes heroes come with flaws, but their heart is what makes them immortal. The signs still rise, a legacy in every hand. Even now, years after your peak, I see it everywhere. Kids, many of them not even born when you ruled the ring, still raise signs with your name, wear your colors, and strike your pose. Their parents tell stories of your glory days, passing down the legend as if it were family heirloom. In those moments, you are alive again. Legends like you never truly fade away. You multiply with every life you touch. You weren't just a character or a performer. You were a myth made real. You were every little brother standing up to a bully, every fan who found strength to keep going when life knocked them down. Because you told them to. Because you showed them how. Though you've left this world, you still rise. You rise every time someone believes in themselves a little more. Every time a person flexes in front of a mirror and smiles with newfound confidence. Every time a crowd chants and remembers the roar of Hulkamania. Every battle, every word. A spirit that endures. From the roar of the crowd in the wrestling ring to the quieter struggles of everyday life, you lived boldly, Hulk. You weren't just a performer. You were a symbol of strength, determination, and resilience. Your battles weren't simply entertainment. They were stories of courage that inspired millions around the world. And the words you spoke? They were more than catchphrases. They became a kind of scripture, a mantra, a lifeline for so many who needed hope. Say your prayers, eat your vitamins, believe in yourself. These words, repeated over and over, became shields for kids facing tough days, for adults fighting personal battles, for anyone who felt small in a big, often unforgiving world. You gave them something to hold on to, a call to action that said, "You are stronger than you think. Keep going." We'll miss every part of you. The showman who could ignite a crowd with just a flex or a smile. The fighter who faced down opponents bigger, stronger, and sometimes crueler than himself. The flawed man, because none of us are perfect, who kept moving forward even when life threw him off course. We'll miss the stories told with thunderous cheers in packed arenas, and we'll miss the quiet, untold moments, the struggles behind the scenes, the pain hidden beneath the bravado. But while we grieve, we also remember. And in that remembering, you live on. Your spirit, your lessons, your energy, they are eternal. You didn't just entertain us, you changed us. Your light still shines until we meet again. Saying goodbye is never easy, but this goodbye feels impossible. How do you say farewell to someone who was not just a friend or a champion, but a part of history itself? The truth is, we don't say goodbye. This isn't the end. It's simply, until we meet again, brother. Because the connection you made with us runs deeper than time and space. It lives in our hearts, in the moments we carry you with us. We'll keep your spirit alive. We'll wear the wristbands you made famous, say the prayers you encouraged, and walk tall with our heads held high, because that's what you did every day of your life. You faced every challenge head-on, showing us how to be strong and proud in a world that often tries to bring us down. Even now, though you're gone from sight, you're still very much in the fight. In every heartbeat of every fan, in every action taken by those you inspired, you are part of us, in our dreams, our struggles, and our triumphs. We will miss you, Hulk Hogan, more than words could ever say, but we will never forget you. Your name lives on in every chant that echoes through arenas, in every heartfelt tribute, and in every tear shed in your honor. You were our hero, our brother, our forever champion. And even as the lights dim and the ring falls silent, your story is far from over. It is eternal. Fighting the good fight, a legacy of courage. You taught us more than wrestling moves. You taught us how to fight the good fight, to stand tall and proud no matter the odds, to face challenges with grit and grace. Even in silence, your energy still moves the crowd. Your spirit still ignites hope. I wear these wristbands for you. I say my prayers at night, not just out of routine, but because you taught me that belief, faith in ourselves and in something greater, is a powerful weapon. Though you're no longer here in person, you remain by my side in every battle I face. Your courage is my guide. Your determination, my fuel. Every time I feel like giving up, I think of you. Your strength, your resilience, your refusal to quit. That's the legacy you left behind. It's not just about winning championships or stealing the spotlight. It's about never losing faith in who you are, even when the world tries to knock you down. A brother remembered. The heart behind the legend. Hulk Hogan, you were more than just a wrestling icon. To many of us, you were family, a brother, a mentor, a friend. You shaped lives beyond the squared circle. Your influence reaches far beyond the flash of the spotlight and the roar of the crowd. Your name lives on in every heart you touched, in every battle song sung in your honor. The stories told about you aren't just about your victories or your signature moves. They are about the man behind the mask, the man who gave hope to kids who felt lost, who lifted spirits when times were dark, who stood up not just for himself, but for anyone who needed a champion. Your spirit is woven into the very fabric of wrestling history, but more importantly, into the lives of those you inspired to stand strong in the face of adversity. You showed us what it means to be resilient, to be brave, and to never stop fighting for what matters. The promise of reunion. Until we meet again. Though this goodbye feels unbearably final, deep down, we know it's only temporary. Because legends like you, Hulk, don't truly leave us. We hold on to the belief that beyond this world, beyond the pain, beyond the silence, there's a place where souls reunite, where the roars of joy replace the cries of grief, and where we'll meet again, brother, just like old times. Until that day comes, your memory continues to live and breathe through all of us. In every flexed muscle, every whispered prayer, every child who learns to believe in themselves. You are there. The lessons you taught, the battles you bravely fought, the love and hope you gave so freely, they continue to shape our lives, our strength, and our spirit. Your legacy isn't etched in gold belts or titles. It's carved in the hearts of those you inspired, in the courage you gave to people who needed a hero. That's why your spirit can never fade. It's immortal. You are forever our champion, our friend, our brother. Rest now, knowing that your story is far from over. It's eternal. And until we meet again, we'll keep the faith, just like you taught us. The weight of being the immortal one. Fame often seems like a shining crown, but for Hulk Hogan, it was a heavy mantle, one that came with immense pressures and unseen struggles. More than just a wrestling superstar, Hogan became a symbol, a living icon of strength, resilience, and larger-than-life charisma. But beneath the bulging muscles and booming voice was a man carrying the weight of expectations that felt impossible to shake. The world saw him as the unbreakable hero, the guy who tore his shirt, flexed those legendary 24-inch arms, and never backed down from a fight. But inside, Hogan wrestled his own battles. Injuries piled up, surgeries were endured, and the constant glare of public scrutiny left little room for vulnerability. In private writings and conversations, he revealed the toll it took on him, how he sometimes felt broken beneath the surface, but had to wear the mask of invincibility for the millions who looked up to him. This mask was both a shield and a cage. It empowered countless fans to believe in themselves, to stand strong in the face of adversity. But it also made it harder for Hogan to ask for help when he needed it most. The persona of Hulkamania was bigger than life, yet behind it was a human heart that beat with doubt, pain, and hope. Bonds forged in blood and sweat. Wrestling was more than a career. It was a brotherhood forged through pain, sweat, and shared triumphs. The locker room was a crucible where rivalries sparked and friendships were sealed in blood and respect. Hogan's relationships with his peers were complex. He was a mentor, a competitor, and a friend. The highs of championship victories and the lows of personal and professional setbacks were experiences they all lived through together. At his funeral, this brotherhood was powerfully evident. Legends like Kevin Nash, Edge, Booker T, The Undertaker, Kurt Angle, and Triple H carried Hogan's casket, a final act of camaraderie and respect that spoke volumes about the deep bonds Hogan forged. They weren't just fellow wrestlers, they were family. Their shared love for the sport and for Hogan himself underscored how much he meant beyond his public persona. It was a moment of solemn tribute, a testament to a legacy built on more than just championships, the legacy beyond the ring. Hogan's impact extended far beyond the squared circle. While his 12 heavyweight championships and countless iconic matches are etched into wrestling history, his true legacy lives in the inspiration he sparked worldwide. The House of Hulkamania Foundation, launched in his name, works to give back, supporting charitable causes, empowering youth, and fostering community. The Hall of Heroes wing in Stamford stands as a physical reminder of the man who transcended wrestling, becoming a cultural icon and a symbol of hope. His message was simple but profound. Believe in yourself, stand tall, and never back down. This message resonated far beyond the wrestling fans. It reached children struggling to find confidence, adults fighting personal battles, and anyone who needed a reminder that strength comes not just from muscle, but from heart and spirit. A final reflection: the heart of Hulkamania. Hulk Hogan's story is one of light and shadow, of a man who captivated millions with his strength, charisma, and never-say-die attitude, yet who also faced the vulnerabilities and trials that come with being human. His life was a series of battles, not just in the ring, but in his own heart and soul. Through every cheer and tear, through the silence, when the arena lights dimmed and the crowd's roar faded, his spirit endured. Hulkamania wasn't just a brand or a catchphrase. It was a belief in the power of resilience, the courage to fight even when the odds are stacked, and the importance of lifting others as you rise. We will miss you, Hulk Hogan, every day, every moment. But your light, your spirit, and your fight live on forever, in every person who's dared to stand tall because of you, in every child who's dreamed bigger, and in the hearts of all who loved you. Your legacy isn't just in history books or championship belts. It's alive, vibrant, and eternal.